Yeah, and speaking of Napa, I interviewed Dr. Kate Shanahan, the author of the book Deep Nutrition, recently, and she filled me in on how many of these 5-star restaurants in Napa use full-on canola oil in all their recipes because extra virgin olive oil is too expensive. Even for these restaurants where you're paying $80 for a plate.
Yeah, right.
Or they'll mix it. 50-50 mix
I mean, listen,
of
olive oil
and
today,
canola
Is
oil.
the price point really
even
that
olive
bad?
oil in Whole Foods. I mean, most of it's crap. Most of it's watered down. Most of it's oxidized.
If it's clear, if it's in a plastic bottle.
Even the dark ones they're testing. I was like, really? I was looking at the tests. Our friend Joe Mercola had an article, and they had the different ones that they were testing, and I was shocked. You've got to get good oil. You better know who you're buying from.
Now, we ordered food last night, too. Speaking of oil, your wife did a good job. She asked the waiter or the waitress a really important question. You remember what she asked?
Which part? She asked a lot of questions.
She asked a lot of questions, but I was impressed.
What are you sauteing those in? What do you put? What's the glaze? She said, and she said, okay, we cook them in canola oil, and she says, can you do it in butter? Then actually, they said they do it in olive oil.
And then she had them switch to butter because she didn't know what kind of olive oil they were using.
Yeah, exactly.
When they say olive oil, by the way, ask is it 50-50 canola oil?
Is.
Because they'll claim that it's olive oil, and if you ask the third question, which is it mixed with canola oil? A lot of the times they'll come back and say, yes, sir, it is.
And we're not trying to be orthorexic here, but I mean, it really is true that vegetable oil is one of the worst things, in my opinion, even worse than glucose that you can do to your body.
Absolutely.
And
Said
so
it for years.
it's super simple at a restaurant to just say, hey, can we go with butter instead of oil? Just tell the kitchen I'd love to do this in butter or
actually, you raise a
coconut
good point. You can take in glucose, sugar. Your body knows it's damaging. It burns it up. So it's gone. These fats, they don't burn. Yeah, your body has a lot of they stay in your body for like months.
They're what your body uses to create cellular membranes.
Yeah, and that creates
so if
bad
you're creating
membranes.
your membranes from poor construction material, your body isn't creating cellular membranes out of glucose, right? It creates some proteoglycans and some joint tissue, but ultimately, unless glucose is staying elevated for a really long period of time, or it's spiking very high after a meal, glucose is natural.
Well,
right? We find it in nature. We don't find like high pressure, high heated canola oil in nature.
Absolutely
anywhere.
not. No, absolutely not. With that said, America's spiking glucose far too much. But you're absolutely right. I mean, this stuff is poison.
Exactly.